Okay, Korsun Pocket, Decisive Battles of World War II, SSG, and Matrix games. This is Lesson 4, and I'm going to jump right into it because Lesson 4 looks a bit longer than the ones so far. So, Lesson 4, and topics covered here, reviewing troops and using the combat display. So, let's start by looking at a typical division. Select the CCR regiment from the 1st Armored Division. Hex 19.5. Where is it? 19.5. 19.5. There we go. Okay, so it says select it. Okay, CCR. There we go. Immediately below the unit display area and the currently empty strong point display area, okay, that's that. Right here is what we're going at. This is the division status area. The CCR regiment is part of 1st Armored Division, right there. So that's why the 1st Armored Division is identified. In the far left of the display area is the 1st Armored Division's emblem. Okay, that's that one. Gold star on a blue background. Followed by 4 small hexes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This indicates the units of the division are spread over 4 different hexes on the battlefield. On the right of the display area is the division cycle button. Yep, click on it, I guess. That one. What happens? Click on it. The CCR regiment is deselected and CCA. Okay. CCA on the map. Okay. CCA is selected. Continue. Clicking. Now we've got CCB. Until you've cycled all 4 units, and then we're back to CCR. Okay. Select the 7th Infantry Regiment from the 3rd Infantry Division, Hex 2112. 2112. I'm looking for the 7th Infantry Division. Oh, probably that one. 2112. 7th Infantry. Selected. Okay, it's selected. Only 1 small hex is present in the display here. 1 hex. For the 3rd Infantry Division, 1 hex, because all the units of the division are in the same hex on the battlefield. The division cycle button is not there because there are no locations to cycle around. Okay, Red Force has 5 infantry and 1 armored divisions. Okay. So basically, yeah, so we select that one. That's the 4th Infantry. 5th Infantry. Okay. 3rd Infantry. Okay. Alright. Where's the Armored Division? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. We already looked at the 1st Armored. Okay. Okay, combats are fought between your units and enemy units adjacent to your unit. Strong points, a sort of stationary unit, cannot attack, but they can defend. Let's look at some typical combat units and evaluate their fighting prowess. Select the 1st Infantry Regiment from the 1st Infantry Division in 19.8. 19... right there. 19.8. Okay. So select it. We have 1st Infantry down here. Here's what you learn from examining the data in the unit display area. It's quite a bit of stuff, but it's nice how it's fairly easy to read and it's easy on the eyes graphically. Okay. In the top left corner is the unit icon. Yeah, unit icon, which you're already familiar with because it's on the map. To the right of the icon is a row of 4 soldier silhouettes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We measure the size of a unit by the number of silhouettes or steps. Okay. How traditionally a hex encounter tabletop allocated to it. As a unit takes casualties, these steps are replaced by skulls. Okay. As soon as all the steps have been replaced by skulls, the unit is eliminated, or KIA. The next graphic to the right is an orange circle overprinted with the white numeral 2, or a white numeral 2 in this example. This number measures the resilience of the unit to the rigors of combat. In game terms, it means the unit can replace 2 casualty markers without drawing on the Army's pool of replacements. It's an interesting but not very complicated way of handling that. The final graphic in the top row is a pictorial image of the main equipment used by the unit. Here you see a group of infantrymen. Across the midline here, the display is a row of 3 bars. 1, 2, 3. I guess you could, yeah, 1, 2, 3. The left bar tells you the current attack value of the unit, 16 in this example, and the number of bullets, 1 in this example, it possesses. The number of bullets tells you how many turns the unit can operate without replenishing supply. Okay, the center bar tells you the current defense strength of the unit, 17 in this example. In Lesson 3, we discussed how to entrench a unit. Let's revise that. Click on the Entrench Units button found on the right of the Advanced Action Control area. That's that one, right? Several things happen in the unit display area. Unit's icon sinks into the background there, scalloped sides, as does the defense bar. Okay, defense bar depressed too. Okay. And the defense strength of the unit increases, reflecting the benefits of digging in. The unit has given up its attack capability. Oh, that's why it's grayed out. For this turn, shown by the change in color to gray. And the movement bar no longer allows extended movement. That's the dash there. Click on the Undo button. Okay, at the bottom of the unit display, to the right of the Selection button, you are familiar. Okay, this one. The Selection button is the Division Integrity. This must be the Division Integrity because it has the Division Shield. Here's how the Division Integrity works. If all the units forming a division are within 5 hexes of one another, and there are at least 2 units, then a bonus is awarded, increasing the attack and defense strengths of the component units. In this example, a bonus of 7, right there, has been awarded to the attack and defense strengths of the 1st Infantry Regiment. Okay. The bottom of the Division Integrity graphic are 3 small rectangles, one for each unit in the division. If the rectangle is green, like these ones look to be green, the unit is on the map. Orange, the unit is yet to arrive on the battlefield, and red, the unit is KIA. Units yet to arrive are treated as though they meet the requirements for Division Integrity. Okay. There's more information in the battlefield pop-up. Right-click on the 1st Infantry Regiment icon. I think that's right-click on the 1st Infantry Regiment icon and move the cursor over the unit icon. Like that. Okay, so we do have quite a bit more. 1st Infantry Division. Okay. The information here is a little different to the unit display area. You can see the attack and defense bars corresponding to each step. That's what that is. So this is each step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The values given here do not include the current Division Integrity bonus. In this example, the 1st Infantry Regiment has attack 9 and defense 10 at 4 steps. Attack 8 and defense 9 at 3 steps, and so on. Okay, they're referring to these here. 9, 10, 8, 9, 6, 7. Interesting. In this example, 1st Infantry Regiment has attack 9. Where it is. Did that. Division Integrity bonus is shown as a percentage calculated by combining the attack and defense strengths and dividing by 2. The bonus is applied to the unit display area and of course to the unit itself on the battlefield. Okay, let's see what happens when we move the 1st Infantry Regiment beyond the Division Integrity radius. Select the 1st Infantry Regiment. Okay, still selected. Move it back down the road to Eagle point. Hex 1210. Probably there. 1210. Okay. The attack and defense bars revert. Attack, defense bars. 910, yeah. Revert to their base values in the background of the division integrity graphic changes to red. Kind of an orange, but okay, red. Click on the undo button. Boom. There is one more piece of very useful information in the unit pop-up. To the right of the attack, okay, so let's... that... oh. How'd that happen? Select. There we go. Alright, what is that? One more piece of useful information to the right of the attack and defense bars, and corresponding to each line are the tank and anti-tank values. Okay. Tank and anti-tank values. Each point represents a favorable die roll modifier on whatever CRT is used in a battle. The 1st Infantry Regiment doesn't have a tank value. It's an infantry unit, but at 4 steps it has the maximum anti-tank value of +3. So that's what they're talking about. The there, +3, +2, +1, +1. All right. Examine as many of your units as you like. Okay. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Unselect. All right. Let's see if I'm supposed to do anything more before I. No. Okay. Using the combat display. Here we go. The combat display appears whenever you start a combat. So how's that done? Select the CCB regiment from the 1st Armored Division. All right. CCB. 25. Probably that one. All right. I selected CCB. Here's CCB. Position the cursor over the enemy unit adjacent. Here. Must be. Yeah. Yeah, and south of the CCB regiment. Cursor becomes a pair of clashing red and blue arrows, and informing you the attack is legitimate. Click on the enemy unit. There we go. Where? Thought I was supposed to know what it is, but it says the 1st Fusilier Battalion of the 1st Infantry Division. A combat graphic appears over the target hex. Okay. While below the battlefield, 2 new panels have, 2 new panels have appeared. The upper panel intruding onto the battlefield is the combat activity. This must be the combat activity panel area. This is where you make your combat decisions. Okay. Only the attacking player makes combat decisions. The lower panel, divided into 2 sections, is the combat display area. Okay, the lower panel divided into 2 sections, okay, is the combat display area. Okay. This is information only this is an information only display which updates with each combat decision made. All right. Let's look at the section of the combat display area in the lower left of the screen. From left to right, we get the following information. The enemy units in the target hex are shown. Oh, there it is. Okay. There's the enemy. I guess that's 2 steps. Let's find out. As are the number of steps present, whether dead or alive. The CRT is identified. So I guess city. CRT. Yeah, in this case, city CRT. The combined defense value of all defending units is shown in the blue bar. 9. Okay. If there is an elite unit in the target hex, there will be a -1 indicator in the blue bar. I don't see that here. This means there's an additional shift awarded to the defender. The combined strength of all attacking units is shown in the red bar, 23. If there is an elite unit participating in the attack, there will be a +1 indicator in the red bar, and there is. So This means there is an additional shift awarded to the attacker. In this example, the CCA regiment is elite. The 1st Fusilier Battalion is not. Okay. Okay. You can identify elite units in the unit display area. Elite units have a golden background. Golden background. Okay. Regular units have a transparent background. Substandard units, usually militia or rock troops, have a dull crimson background. Below the red and blue combat bars is the current net column shift to be applied to the combat, so it looks like -2 in this case. The shift's value is very important. It explains why the simple odds ratio you get from comparing attack strength to defense strength, in this example 23:9, rounding down to 2:1, is not always the column which appears immediately to the right. Oh, here, that's the column. Okay, you already looked at the terrain effects CRT screen. Yes, immediately to the right are a group of tank and anti-tank graphics. Here they are. 3 tanks and 2 anti-tank guns. There are 2 anti-tank graphics. Right-click on the target hex and examine the terrain icon in the bottom left of the pop-up. Okay. Bottom left. Okay. Underneath the big terrain graphic, there's a small anti-tank. Where? Oh yeah. Okay, now I see it. They're referring to this one here. I'm assuming. Underneath the big terrain graphic. Yes, there's a small anti-tank graphic with a value of +2. Yes. Examine the enemy unit in the pop-up. Okay. Guess that means this one. Examine the enemy unit in the pop-up. Underneath the big terrain graphic, there's a small anti-tank graphic. Oh, we already did that. Okay. It has no anti-tank value, the defender here. The best anti-tank value of all the units in the target hex is added to the anti-tank value of the terrain beneath them. Values greater than 3 are treated as 3, and 1 anti-tank graphic is printed for each anti-tank point. Okay. There are 3 tank graphics. Oh, talking about back here, 3 tank graphics. The best tank value found among the attacking units is chosen. The maximum value allowed by the game system is 3, so up to 3 tank graphics will be printed to the right of the anti-tank graphics. To calculate the tank bonus in a combat, the anti-tank value is subtracted from the tank value. Results less than 0 are treated as 0. Oh, +1. Okay, this means anti-tank values can only cancel out tank values. There is no anti-tank bonus. The tank bonus expresses its... Okay, so each of these is canceling one of those. That's probably even why the graphic is the color. Okay, nice. Alright, so tank bonus itself expresses positive modifier. It's a DRM, not a shift in the CRT column. Here the bonus is +1. The maximum bonus is +2. All CRTs have a die roll range of 1 to 8, so the 6 possibilities reflect the inclusion of the tank bonus modifier. Okay. Alright. Below the graphics is a gray cube representing a die overprinted with the tank bonus. This tells you that 1 die will be rolled for this combat. You can roll 2 dice in combat, and we'll deal with this when a suitable combat arises. Finally, along the bottom of the display are a row of mostly white dashes. These ones, okay. On the left is the number of artillery shifts. I guess that's 1. Graphic tells you how many artillery units are firing. The numeral tells you the number of shifts. Okay. Best artillery unit is allocated the one with the greatest number of shifts. 2 artillery units will be allocated when there is a chance of 2 dice being rolled. Okay, 2 is the maximum number of defending artillery units. There is no limit per se on the number of defensive shifts allowed. Theoretical maximum is 6. The next graphic shows the current level of tactical shifts applying to the combat. Tactical shifts take into account a lot of factors, but there's a detailed list in the game manual. Here's a summary and a brief statement of their purpose. Combats are not really isolated events. Nearby troops, even if they don't participate, exert an influence in addition to the more easily identifiable or easily identified factors of terrain and rivers and minefields and detachments and the number of hex sides across which the attack is mounted. In the second section of the combat display, to the right of the circular window, so here's the circular window, to the right of it here is an iconic view of the tactical situation. The hex sides across which you are currently capable of attacking the enemy are identified with orange or green arrows. Green, orange. Attacks through green arrow hex sides earn a tactical benefit. Those through orange hex sides do not. Select the CCA regiment. I guess they mean... Huh. Okay. The first time with a major mess up. Select the CCA regiment. To add this unit to the attack, click on the yellow dot in the unit display. That one? Ah, there we go. So it still worked. Good. So that turned to orange there. Okay. Okay, I guess it was red before. There we go. Repeating either command will... Okay. The odds column to be used in the battle has improved to 3 to 1. There we go. 3 to 1. Okay. Now for the explanation of why the current tactical shift is -2. Guess they were talking about that one. The calculation always begins by awarding the target hex 4 shifts plus any additional shifts awarded by the CRT on which the combat is to be fought. 0 in this example. Okay. You can find out if additional shifts are to be awarded from the Train Effects CRT screen. The attacker is awarded tactical shifts for each green arrow hex side he attacks across, like this one, I guess. 2 shifts are awarded to each of the first 2 such hex sides, and +1 shift for each additional hex side. In this example, there's only 1 eligible hex side, so 2 shifts are awarded, resulting in a current net tactical effect of 2 shifts favoring the defender. For the moment, we will ignore the attacker's shift bonus of 1 for committing an elite unit and the defender's shift bonus of 1 for defensive artillery. The hex from which the CCA regiment is attacking, so that's that one, is ineligible for a tactical shift because there are too many enemy steps, not counting the target hex, adjacent to it. The rule is there must be at least as many steps in an attacking hex as there are uninvolved enemy steps adjacent before a tactical bonus can be awarded. Note that artillery and support units do not count. Let's go back to our example. Right-click on the enemy units in hex 19.7. No, 19.7. There we go. Okay. So right-click on the enemy units in 19.7. You'll see they have a total of 6 steps between them. All right. How can we... I guess we go like this. That's 3... and 3. Okay, 3 steps, 3 steps, for a total of 6. Alright, what we're going to do is direct another unit to join the CCA regiment in hex 19.6. You can exit the combat display at any time you are not committed to an attack until you press the fire button. To exit, click on the exit button at the far right of the combat activity area. Far right, where's that? Exit, okay. Exit. Okay. Select the 2nd Armored Battalion, hex 22. This one. Oops. Undo. I was supposed to press the control key when I do this. There we go. Now we switch to the 2nd Armor. Okay, move it to hex 19.6. There we go. There we go. Launch an attack against the 1st Fusilier Battalion from either hex, this one or 25. Boom. It doesn't matter which. Add all 3 units to the combat. Okay, how do I do that? Add and add. There we go. 58. Attack strength, all 3. Green, green, okay. As there are now 6 of your army's steps in Hex 19.6, matching the enemy's 6 steps in Hex 19.7, the hex site is eligible for a tactical bonus, thus the green arrow right there. So the combat odds are now 58 to 9, 58 to 9. Rounding down to 6 to 1. Alright, the current net tactical effect is now 0. You're talking about that. Combat odds 6 to 1. Let's add another unit to the attack. Exit the combat display. Exit. Select the 1st Mechanized Battalion. That must be that one. Oh, did it again. Alright, let's do it this way. Let's unselect all the units. 21.5, yep. Select it. 1st Mechanized and move it to Hex 21.6. 21.6. There. Launch an attack against the Fusilier Battalion. Add all 4 units. So select, add, select, spacebar for both. Now we get to 66 to 9. Yeah, running down to 7 to 1. 7 to 1. The current net tactical effect is now +1. Thus the combat odds displayed are 8 to 1. There we go. For your information, attacks from hexes containing enemy minefields, detachments, or across rivers, or from hexes containing only substandard units always prevent the award of a tactical bonus, regardless of the number of steps you have in the hex. That's probably an important clarification to remember. We could add more units to the attack, but we're nearly the maximum odds allowed, 10 to 1. It's time to examine the combat activity area. Okay, combat activity area. And investigate how it helps you to manage combat. All the buttons in this area can be identified by right-clicking them. Are they talking about deselect combat, maximize combat results, add, subtract generals? Okay, in the far left are 2 information displays. The upper graphic, a soldier silhouette, they must be talking about that one, informs you what will happen if a combat units exclude artillery, support and supply units, is eliminated in the battle. It will leave a detachment marker if the final odds in the combat are less than the odds value printed beside the soldier. I guess that's that one. In this example, a detachment will be created if the odds are less than 10 to 1. Okay. The lower graphic, the overrun icon, informs you whether an overrun is possible. The word possible appears beside the icon when this is so. Before changing to the word overrun when enough units have been committed to the attack. Okay. We'll deal with overruns later. Some CRTs prohibit overruns, like the city CRT we are using in this example. The terrain effects CRT screen tells you the odds required to achieve an overrun, if any, for each CRT and each ground condition. Look for the overrun icon on the screen. Recognize overrun possibilities is a very important facet of the game. The reset button will deselect all units so far committed to the battle, as well as withdrawing all other assets. Do this if you need to start again or just want to browse. The max button will commit every eligible unit, including artillery and all available assets, to the combat. On occasion, this will take the odds way over 10 to 1. You use this button to get a quick opinion of the maximum odds you can bring to bear in this combat with the units currently adjacent, artillery units in range, and the assets in the combat activity area. Then it's time to use the reset button. Okay. The leadership button will add a single shift to the combat odds in favor of the attacker. You may have more than one general available, but only one can be committed each battle. Click on the button a second time to withdraw the leadership bonus. The bombardment button will add a single shift to the combat odds. What's that one? Add, subtract air combat. Add, subtract barrages. Yeah. You may have more than one air support. Oh, they're talking about bombardment. Air bombardment. You may have more than one air support point available, but only one can be committed to each battle. Alright, the barrage button. Yeah, we'll add a single shift to the combat odds in favor of the attacker. Same deal. The artillery button, yeah. Works a little differently. The number above there. Number above the artillery icon tells you how many artillery units can be committed to the attack. This number is constant throughout the game, though it need not be the same for both sides. In this example, a maximum of 3 artillery units may be committed to each combat. Click once on the artillery button. The best artillery unit in range is committed to the battle. You can find out which artillery unit was chosen with the artillery available button. Huh. There are 2 available buttons, one for combat units, one for artillery units. Huh. Oh, they must click on the artillery available. Okay, artillery available button. I'm cycling through. Okay. Okay. Until you come to the first rocket battalion, like this one. The glowing yellow dot indicates this unit is selected. Okay. 2 artillery silhouettes appear in the two artillery silhouettes appear in the combat display. Okay. No, I still don't see them. Okay, 2 artillery silhouettes appear in the combat display. The upper silhouette tells you there is a 3 shift bonus this turn if 1 or more artillery units are used in combat. These bonuses often appear at the start of a scenario to simulate surprise and careful preparations. The lower silhouette shows you the shift bonus provided by the selected artillery button. Click on the artillery button again and a second artillery unit will be added to the combat. Click again to get a third. Oh, down here, I guess. Okay. Another click will withdraw all units. Okay, so obviously we're in a position to get a much more than 10-to-1 on this hapless enemy unit. The weakest artillery unit we have will be more than enough to improve the combat odds to 10-to-1. Click on the artillery button. There we go. Until no artillery units are selected. Use the artillery available button to locate the 3 artillery battalion. There it is. Okay. 3 artillery battalion. Click on the yellow dot. I guess they mean that one. Yeah, okay, that one. To selected, an additional 4 shifts have been added. Bring the final odds 10-to-1 or more. Only 1 more point needs to be explained before we can hit the fire button. When artillery, including bombardment and barrage, is added to a combat, the resulting artillery damage may add an OP penalty to the hex and surrounding hexes, which affects both sides equally. A small hexagon enclosing some craters appears in the combat display. A lot of craters means a heavy artillery residue. A few craters means light artillery residue. Consult the terrain effects CRT screen for the specific OP penalties. Finally, hit the fire button. That must be the fire button. Conduct combat. Boom. Alright, the gray cube turns into a white die, showing the number rolled. We got a 5 there. So 5's right there. D1R. The attacker force loses... Oh. That's this example. In our example, D1R. Okay. If you get an R result, defending unit must retreat. Attacking force never retreats. There we go. So, that's the end of the lesson. We set up this attack. Okay.